up, everyone? It's Justin Parnell back again with another episode of Journey of Discovery, the free-to-play MTG Arena series. If you want to see more content like this, be sure to subscribe to this channel and leave us a like, a comment, and a share if you want to spread the good word of Journey of Discovery. And of course, if you want to listen to the Thinktwice podcast, search Thinktwice MTG on SoundCloud, iTunes, Google Play Music, Stitcher, and Spotify. And if you want to support this show or Thinktwice, go to patreon.com/ThinktwiceMTG. All right, now we're back on Constructed for this time, and I only have 3 packs to open because I still have. I foolishly did not complete all of my wins for the week yet, so next week there'll be an additional pack for us to open. We have 3 to open right now, which won't quite get us to a mythic rare wild card, but hopefully this gives us something good. Benthic Biomancer, not exactly what I was looking for. Uncommon wild card's always good. Priest of the Forgotten Gods, that's actually a pretty good one. And Depose Deploy's not bad. And Enraged Forerunner's not what we were looking for, but that's okay. We'll be fine. All right, let's see what we're working with this week. All right, so as we continue down our path of Hero of Precinct 1 brews, this week we're going to be playing kind of a Mardu mid-range deck. And this is obviously cards that we've crafted for previous decks, specifically Hero of Precinct 1. But mostly a bunch of cards in our collection. Now, I did craft more lands. Went up to 3 Godless Shrine. We had 2. Went up to 3 Isolate Chap, we had 1 Godless Shrine, so used 2 wild cards here. Used 2 wild cards on Isolated Chapel. Used only 1 wild card on Blood Crypt. We had 2 of those. Used 2 wild cards on Dragon Skull Summit and 0 on either of these 2. We actually had a few of these previously. So we're down to 4 for now, but that's okay. We've been using them on lands, which is, in my opinion, the absolute best case use for them. So this is going to allow us to play more decks kind of in the future. So we only have 5 basics here. And this deck, again, kind of centers around Hero Precinct 1. Now, we have a lot more non-gold cards in this deck than we maybe have had in previous decks or have in future Hero Precinct 1 decks, but they're still synergized with the hero. Of course, we have the Priest of Forgotten Gods, which we just opened a moment ago, so I took out another 2-drop and put this in, so we'll give this a shot. A couple of Rixmati Reveler. This is a card I would probably want 4 of. This card has been really, really good. Specifically being able to cycle or to loot stuff that is not useful in the current matchup, or just to draw 3 later in the game. The Pitiless Pontiff is... I'm not sure if this or the Fireblade Artist is better. Fireblade Artist I like because it can get in some early damage than just... If your opponent is fogging, and there's a lot of that going around, this can kind of get through that. We have a Miser's Legion's Landing. 2 Midnight Reaper, which goes nicely with the Artist, but also goes nicely with the Pontiff, which is why I'm not sure where to go between these 2. 4 Mortify, because this has been great. 2 Bedevils, because this is pretty great too. 2 Seraph of the Scale. 2 Aurelia to go with our 2 Lyra. 4 Ballisica Balehaunt, which is great. This is kind of... This card KO's red deck's pretty good. 2 Carnival Carnage, 2 Integrity Intervention, which has actually been really good at protecting our hero on turn 3 in case we try to get burned out, and then 1 Ajani to return this bevy of 2-drops. So I've been pretty happy with this deck. It's changed a little bit. It's certainly not a powerhouse, but it's been fun. It does a lot of the cool things I like to do, and we have enough 1-ofs to make it play differently enough, so let's give it a shot. All right, game 1. This hand is not good. 2 Swamps, which might be all of the swamps that we have. All right, 1 land for this one. We're not going to be keeping this either with our high drops. Okay, this one we'll keep. We have Pitiless Pontiff on 2, and non-land goes on the bottom. It's not great, but we're going to be able to hopefully cast all of the cards in our hand within a couple of turns, so... Multifiers aren't pretty, but I never feel out of the game until I kind of get to 4, and then it's just like a free Ancestral Recall for our opponent is often too difficult to overcome. Love to be able to pick off this Wild Growth Walker, but we'll have to settle for getting some damage in and hope they don't have an explore creature, which is normally not that big of a deal necessarily for this deck. We don't have issue kind of fighting through damage, but it's going to make it so we can't attack if we can't pick up something for this Mortify, and that's going to be problematic. Okay, another Wild Growth Walker. Rick's Mighty Reveler. Okay, well, we will pitch Lyra. We don't love pitching Lyra, of course, but we need to hit lands. Which we didn't. We did pick up another Mortify. So if we are able... It looks like our opponent is not necessarily stuck on lands, but only has green mana. I can't imagine our opponent is only an only green mana deck. Carnage Tyrant, which they're a couple of turns off of, but of course is always going to be problematic. Fortunately, we have the Pitiless Pontiff to somewhat handle that. If our opponent attacks with a Wild Growth Walker, we will double block with the Fireblade Artist and the Rick's Mighty Reveler. No such luck. Okay. Still no attacks. Any third land will do. The only one that comes into play tapped is 2 more copies of Clifftop Retreat. Decline. Alright. 2 copies of Clifftop Retreat it is. Okay. Well, now we only have 1 land to come into play tap, but at least we'll be able to cast a spell next turn. As our opponent gets a Carnage Tyrant down before we can cast... Ooh. Well, now we have to kill this before our opponent untaps, which is fine. I mean, that's what we want to do anyway. So, we can... We, of course, can sacrifice this. But I would love to get another land. There's a Bell Haunt. Okay, I think I'm going to sacrifice... Man, if we hit another land, we would be able to Midnight Reaper. I think it's probably worth it. Just to try to hit it, just to try to hit another land. Okay. Okay. Any target players lose 2 and sacrifice a creature. Okay. Just you. We'll sacrifice Fireblade Artist and Rick's Mighty Reveler. Okay. Okay. Then we gain 2 black and draw a card, which we'll use to take out the ooze. We'll pay 2. We'll keep this for a Planeswalker later. No attacks. Okay. Not exactly what we wanted, of course, at this point in the game, but the priest got us, you know, helped us a little bit. We have a Lyra now. Our opponent we could double block and essentially just trade Midnight Reaper for 1. Or the Pontiff, perhaps. Yeah, I was gonna say it's more likely our opponent just doesn't. So we can essentially kill 3 of our opponent's creatures, leave them with a single Wild Growth Walker versus our priest. Well, we could Bedevil and Mortify. Get rid of the Wild Growth Walkers. We know our opponent's going to play a Carnage Tyrant. This gets us to Lyra sooner. Okay. Okay. Target our opponent. Let's sacrifice these two. 2 triggers. 1, 2. They sacrifice a creature, probably the Wayfinder. Yep. We draw another card. Still don't hit any lands. Get a walker. And we should have cast Bedevil first. That was a mistake. And then we could cast what's it called? But this is kind of now we can kind of get going here. Carnage Tyrant. Still need a land. Still very much need a land. No blocks. Still not a land. Okay. Well, let's play Fireblade Artist. This can make white mana. No, we need... This can make a red mana for a Bedevil. Okay. And let's just deal 1 to the Walker. And this is only so we can sacrifice, keep the Fireblade Artist. Okay. Choose you. Sacrifice 2 tokens. They'll sacrifice the Ooze. Well, Bedevil, well, I wanted to save the Bedevil for something like this, but, you know. Whatever it takes, I guess. If our opponent somehow doesn't have another creature, we can actually get this Carnage Tyrant. Mortal Sun. Okay. Well, that just means we have to chump here with our human token. Which is not the end of the world. Alright, we go to 1. Decline. Can't. Sacred Foundry. We can't play Bellhaunt. We have to play Aurelia. Yeah, we had to play Aurelia. And then we sacrifice. Choose our opponent. Sacrifice Fireblade Artist and Human. They lose 2. We get a little bit of mana that we can't use. You get a second black mana. Okay. Can we somehow unlikely but somehow come back? I would say it's almost impossible. Almost, but not impossible. If our opponent's only playing 1 creature a turn, then maybe we can do it. Okay, Crushing Canopy. Not necessarily Death Sentence. Lyra's what we need. Okay, search for a Merfolk. Jade Light Ranger, sure thing. Rabid Bite. Oh no, that's going to be bad news. Well, there's another hero. So that part's good news. The bad news is they're not at the right number of life. Okay. We'll Bellhaunt. Pay 2. Play a hero. Okay, we'll pass the turn. We really need this Bedevil for this Immortal Sun. Okay. Land is good. Carnage Tyrant, not good. Decidedly not good. That means we have to play Lyra. Not like we don't want to play Lyra, but we now are forced to play Lyra. Okay, I'm glad our opponent didn't attack us here. So I think we have to play Lyra and Legion's Landing. Seraph doesn't get us enough life. Does get us a token. Can we play Seraph into a Johnny? I don't think it's a. I think we need to play Lyra this turn to have a chance. Okay. We need to be able to first strike and gain life. Which is not great, of course, but oh no. That's not what we wanted. Crushing Canopy was not what we wanted at all. Okay, well, we'll sacrifice Lyra and a token. Now, there's not anything that we can draw, but I suppose our opponent doesn't know that. It's certainly not Godless Shrine. We really need to fade a third Crushing Canopy. No, just a second. Oh, Rabid Bite was the other one. I think we're done for if our opponent attacks. If they figure out to go to combat, they did. Yeah, so Carnage Tyrant tramples, so we'll take out the Herald at least. But, yep. We'll take it from Carnage Tyrant. Couldn't beat the Immortal Sun. All right, game 2. This hand is pretty solid. We're on Guild Gates for now, but any land unlocks the rest of our deck, so we'll keep it. Looks like red and black is the first thing that we want, so opponent similarly on Guild Gates. Of course. Immediately punished. Alright. The one single colored card in our entire deck, which we draw. Our opponent playing flash creatures during their main phase, so we're 100% to lose this game. And yeah, let's play Fireblade Artist. Yeah, if our opponent wants to trade, we'll let them trade their 3-power creature for our 2-power. Opponent correctly identifying that their creature is more powerful than ours. Certainly right now it is. Oh yeah, we're for sure gonna lose this one. I can't even try to get them to. I can't even try to attack this time. Like now, we actually just have to stay back on defense. Okay, if we don't draw a land, which we won't, I am gonna. Okay, well, we drew something we can play, so I suppose I won't play Rick's Mighty Reveler. Against my better judgment. I said I wasn't going to attack, but we got 2 creatures now. Oh, fungal infection. Opponent's still clocking us. Now for 7, they can put us down to 10. Okay, water not as expected. We are going to decline for now just because we can potentially have some sacrificing synergies at some point. Here we just have to mortify and block. We just get to, we hope we can do that. We pray we can do that. Should have mortified on our turn. Our opponent was tapped out. Or tapped out all but Submerged Boneyard. Artful Takedown. Yep, alright. We'll mortify. If we can hit an untapped land for this Bell Haunt, I think we have a shot. Still decline. Okay. Any untapped land will do. Okay. That gave us a little bit of padding. Water not, as expected. We'll still decline. Let's play a Seraph of the Scales. So if they kill this one, we still come up with some blockers that we badly need. Okay. We might be in luck. Okay, so we're going to return our Fireblade Artist. We're going to give this Vigilance. We're going to attack here. Not with the not with the artist. Player land. Water not? Okay. We'll block. Okay, we got rid of the threat. Let's sacrifice this Seraph. Make some blockers. Okay, really is nice. Certainly don't hate that one. Essence Scatter, okay. We don't want to Reveler. We could return Artist. I think we want to keep a Johnny around for now.
Look how far you've come.
We don't want to play Revelers. Kind of the kind of a really weird spot where they're bad. Oh, Mind Rot. That got us pretty good. Okay. Sacrifice Bell Haunt. Your opponent's for 2. Okay, Fireblade Artist. Fireblade Artist.
Back on your feet.
We'll attack for 8. Flip this. Go to 2. We'll spectacle, discard our other one. Alright. How will our opponent kill us this turn? Which I'm almost sure of. Our opponent's only played commons. We've barely played any non-rares. Okay. Well, we won that one, but I don't feel good about it. That is not. I would not say that is a good representation of what I feel like this deck can do. But here we are. All right, we're on the play. A little slow, but we do have some removal. We have a number of 2-drops in our deck. Surely we can come up with 1 or 2 of them. Okay, right on time. So, against breeding pool decks, we're going to pitch this Integrity Intervention. See, this is where this card looks good, is when you could just play it, and you're like, oh, this isn't useful to me. Okay, so likely playing against Simic Nexus, which means they have plenty of root snares. Okay, that's the card we don't want to see. They can't Nexus this turn, they only have 6 mana. But, you know, they're going to root snare us anyway, so we should have gave the bonus to the Reveler. Ooh, okay. Alright, put him to 8. Because if they bounce this, then we can replay it, loot some more. Growth Spiral. Okay. Feel a Nexus coming in our future. Or soon, near future. Okay. 1 turn. So many they can string together. This is where we need Fireblade Artist. Crisis. Okay. Land number 7. Alright, interesting. I guess we play Legion's Landing. Doesn't hurt to play Legion's Landing. We'll target Aurelia. Then we get a combat. Root Snare, alright. Well, we're still going to attack. Doesn't prevent us from attacking. So we can flip this Legion's Landing. Okay, that will. We're still going to go in with these two, only because we want to mentor here. Doesn't matter much if our opponent blocks, so. We can Bell Haunt, make him bin a card, which I guess we'll do. I have to imagine we're going to get another turn in the game. There's certainly a chance we don't. Our opponent could just have nothing. Okay, there's a big Crisis. 3 cards. Do they come up with a Nexus? That's the question. Okay, they do. They do come up with a Nexus, which is why they're attacking. And where's our Mortifies? We have Integrity, Intervention, Bedevil. All these slow creatures. And the shame is that we do have the tools to beat this deck, but it doesn't look like we're going to find them this game. And I'm fairly... Ooh, interesting. Okay. So we're just going to attack. Flip this. Put our opponent to 5. And we'll just pass. I'd like to bedevil the big Krasis. If our opponent taps out for Memorial to Genius or something similar, yeah, we'll get the big Krasis. So this is the deck that Ali made. So I'm pretty familiar with the list. Assuming this is they are playing his list, then I know all of their win conditions is 4 Frilled Mystic and 3 Krasis. We've taken care of 1. Opponent looking for a Nexus, finds a Nexus, going to attack us down to 15. Needs to continually find Nexus for 3 more turns beyond this one, or Root Snare. Okay, so this changes the clock by a turn? 2 turns? Because they're going 7-7. Still need to get us for 1 more turn. Okay, looking for Nexus. Chemist's Insight, so still have a chance. Okay. So if they find Nexus on this turn, then they win. Then they can get us. They're looking for it. They're gonna find it. Yeah, there's Nexus. Okay, good game. This deck is, I mean, in my opinion, if you've been listening to the Thinktwice podcast or watching this channel, Ali playing this deck, I mean, I think this is clearly a tier 1 deck of Ali's own design. This is, I would say, as far in his wheelhouse as you can possibly get. And like I said, we do actually have the tools to beat this deck, but it can't be drawing 4 Angels and zero Mortifies and no early pressure. That will not do it, unfortunately. All right. Good game, opponent. All right. On the play, this hand looks pretty solid. We need another white for Bellhaunt on 4, but fortunately our good friend Rixmani Reveler might just help us find it. Okay. So if I'm seeing a mountain, that means I am going to pitch this Blood Crypt rather than the swamp. We have the tools this game to beat mono red, assuming we can come up with the appropriate mana. Okay. Lyra ends the game. Bellhaunt puts us in a good spot. The fact that we can keep putting blockers into play is going to be good for a couple of turns. All right, there's another swamp. So we're not gonna attack. We really need 3 creatures to be able to even attack with one of them. Lightning strike still to our face. Do we see the light up at the stage, or maybe a skewer the critics? Okay. I'm not going to kill one of our creatures. All right. Well, we'll take 2. Only because this lets us for sure play Bellhaunt into Lyra. Opponent can't pitch a land. They have to pitch a creature, which is great for us. We'll attack with the Artist, which is the creature that we want to keep around because the Reveler's already done its job. Okay, there's our opponent. Let's light up the stage. I presume they would have more burn since they've aimed lightning strikes at our face pretty happily. Okay, so we're going to see a light up, another light up or a skewer. Okay, skewer, so skewer for 4. And a lava runner. Okay, so our opponent, best case scenario, can... This is a haste creature, draw a removal spell, kill a creature, so we can attack with 2, especially since Lyra's our blocker. Ooh, great. All right, well that was best case scenario then, because now our opponent just they have to remove Lyra or the game ends. 1 hit in with Lyra and we're good. They cannot kill it. Okay, so mana's solid. Too many 4-drops though. I'm gonna try to find something better. Mana's worse here, obviously, but we do have early plays. We'll put a devil on the bottom. And I'd rather be able to interact early. Especially against what is likely mono white. Or maybe a Azorius aggro. So this could actually line up pretty well. Our opponent has red. If they can't kill our hero... All right, well, we had to play hero out because we don't have another land. If we had another land, I would wait and play it next turn. Vanguard, no removal, please. No such thing. Okay, excellent. No blocks. Swamp. All right. That was perhaps the best draw. We're not going to block with hero, so maybe we can convince our opponent to block with the sentry. No? Okay, sure. Alright. Venerated locks it on. Sure thing. And then end of turn, we're just gonna make a token. We'll play this and pass. And you know, we'll just get this during their turn. We'll try to get them into an inconvenient attack. History of Benalia, all right. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. A land makes 10. Century gets +3. So they're going to get the hero. In that case, just to keep them off of Ascend, then I'll go ahead and do this now. Okay. We'll sacrifice 2 of our creatures, hero and something else. Get our opponent to sacrifice a creature. Push them just a little farther away. If only our opponent had a single toughness creature. That would be great. Ooh. Heroic reinforcements, you say. Okay. All right. Let's pass the turn. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. This will make 10. We got the sentry already, though. Okay, never mind. Never mind. We'll take 4. Okay, we'll get the aspirant and one of their life points. These knights have vigilance. This can trade. We make them sacrifice a knight, then get another knight. Okay, so I think we're going to attack with Bellhaunt. They'll likely take 3. We'll reconnect to our game. Okay, reconnected. All right. Yes. Choose. Submit. Sacrifice 2 other creatures. Okay. There goes 1. We will play a Bell Haunt. They'll pitch our. All right, they'll pitch their last card and we do it. Do it with the Bell Haunt. All right. On the draw, but we do have a little bit of early interaction, very early interaction, and then some nice, old Jundy cards. So I know what I like. That's some Jund action, so we'll keep. Forsaken Sanctuary. All right. I imagine it'll either be a Johnny or Midnight Reaper. A Johnny it is. All right, we'll play Godless Shrine and pass the turn. Opponent shocked so they could counter something. All right, well, if that's the case, then we won't play anything. If they feel so strongly about taking 2 damage. We'll do that next turn. When we play our Fireblade Artist, as well as our Midnight Reaper. They can counter Fireblade Artist if they wish. I don't know if we have any other lands in our hand. Okay. Well, we'll just attack with this Fireblade Reaper then. And I'm not super excited to just let them cast their Absorb. Sure. Cast their Absorb on our Midnight Reaper. I just don't want him to do it. Okay, Teferi. And then, of course, holding up.
You'll thank me later.
Oh, thank you later, will we?
I'm not done yet.
Of course, shocking to be able to hold up their Absorb. If only we had a Bedevil right here. But we don't. Here's an Aurelia. Aurelia's not bad. Okay, well, we'll let them counter our Midnight Reaper. They've wanted to absorb this thing since like turn 3. There's no way they're not going to do it. Alright, there you go. And we'll pay 2 life. So we can hold up Mortify for the search that as content that will never come. Okay. I would love to be able to Aurelia and Carnival Carnage in the same turn. But I also don't think we have time. Otherwise, we're just hanging around waiting for Teferi to ultimate. Okay. This one's not looking great. I think one day this card's going to catch on and it's not going to be good for the rest of Magic. Okay, so we would have drawn. Would have drawn the land. We really just need to resolve this. Otherwise, we use it to hit them for 1 and knock Teferi off of a little bit. But as it stands, play this card, a land and a Kaya's Wrath. Clearly not needing the Kaya's Wrath. I don't know what we can draw, but I don't think it's Sacred Foundry. I suppose we'll give our opponent a turn to see if they want to not Ultimate Teferi. Ultimate Teferi we for sure in a million years can't beat. Okay, good game.
You are removed from time itself.
We're removed from time itself. Rick's Mighty Reveler. All right. What amazing string of draws can we come up with? I think we need this Mortify. Okay. That's two. Two draws. All right, there's a land. Of course, we did not pitch the Mortify that our opponent knew about, which is this one. Our opponent knows that we have this one. I still know it. Chromium. Okay. Alright. Let's try to kill this. See what happens. You know what? We're gonna get taken down by this Chromium pretty fast, so we'll go ahead and call it a night. All right. Well, 3 wins. You know, we lost to tier decks. I guess the first deck was not mono green, but the other two, Civic Nexus and Esper Control, 2 of the best decks in the metagame. I feel like this deck has some legs. I think if our collection was probably a little bigger, that it could probably become slightly more diverse than we have it right now. I'm going to throw one more Hero Precinct 1 deck at you guys next week. We didn't see a lot of Hero this time. I do think that Priest of Forgotten Gods overperformed the one copy. Kept us in a lot of games we should have been